He was a giant before?
He
Cloud
was
giant,
a
yeah.
cloud giant before, yes.
Cloud
He was
giant,
a
yeah.
cloud giant before, yes. And now he is an orc.
That seems wrong.
That's what reincarnate does.
Well, it's that or dead, so I guess you have to pick between those two.
Hashtag better dead
Yeah,
than
that
Snag.
was basically his choice.
Is he okay with this?
He was okay with being reincarnated. He
The
did
okay
not,
with it is a strong term.
Yeah, he accepted the offer to be reincarnated. He's not super happy about being a fucking orc, though.
It's
So
okay.
he didn't read the fine print.
He can be Inks's twin for a while. She'll give him her old hat. But we're still in the middle of asking our second set of questions. We can only ask 6 per day.
You guys are on, I want to say,
3 out of 6.
yeah, okay. There's a doc, there's a handout that has you guys' questions that you've already asked and the exact answers you got from them as well.
We've been scribbling out possible questions so we don't say them. Kind of like with a wish spell. You don't want to get it wrong.
Who are we asking? The former ghost we're asking questions?
No, it's the
Your-
Oracle.
Or the Oracle?
You
Okay.
finally made it to that place with the Oracle.
This cloud giant was a corpse in the middle of the room.
In fact, he's such a corpse that he's actually baked into the map.
Yeah.
Literally.
I can't move. You guys have dragged his corpse out from the middle, but the image of his corpse is actually baked into the map, so I can't move it.
They were not expecting us to do this.
I mean, rules is written, it doesn't work. I just thought it sounded
Because he's giant,
cool.
yeah.
I was hoping for dwarf.
That would have been appropriately ironic.
No, wouldn't that have been like a halfling,
I mean-
a gnome?
Somebody suggested an expanded reincarnate table to me. And that's how we got orc.
He almost was tiefling.
Yeah. That would have been something.
Though actually with the expanded list, couldn't he have like been a pixie? That would have been funnier.
Yeah, there were many things that he could have been. Some of them I didn't even recognize.
It was a Pathfinder table, if I remember correctly. But
Yeah.
most of them are available in 5e at some level.
Yeah, and if not.
I mean, a homebrew at least.
And we would have found out about a fascinating species of the world, that it was orc.
Yeah.
I mean, at least as far as I know, orcs are people in this universe.
They are. They actually, I think they actually have their own kingdom right now. I can't remember exactly what the deal is with that currently in Forgotten Realms. Jeff, do you know, is the Kingdom of Many Arrows still a thing?
I do not know.
Okay.
To be fair, everything is people to us at this point. We're soft-hearting the primordials, so
Yeah.
It's true.
But yeah. That's a pretty good summary of what you guys were up to last session. So yeah, we will leave off. We'll come back in. There are 3 questions, so 3 torches still remain lit on this circle of giants around here. Igeron's new orc body is going to go and loot his giant body.
that's gotta be weird.
Oh, this feels so weird.
Oh yeah, Andy's New Zealand. He's a Kiwi.
Surprise. I shouldn't be stealing my own body, I feel like. Feels weird.
Is it really stealing if it's your own body, though?
But it's not my body anymore.
Well, then it's nobody else's body, so it belongs to you. It's still your stuff.
That's true. In that case, I'm gonna steal the shit out of it.
That's a
I'd leave that part behind, but you do you.
Different bodies, same person. I understand that completely.
Apparently, someone has thought about this and made up rules, so.
Okay.
That's in character. Because Edrill's been dead and had to deal with this shit.
It's just a rule that I just made up.
I didn't just make this.
It's like no country, no flag, no country.
Okay.
So we have at least 3 more questions we can ask today, and then we figure out whether we want to stay one more night or not.
I think if we have a solid set of 9 more questions, then we should stay the night. But if we have less than 7, we should probably just move on and hope that we can come back someday. Actually,
Thought I heard actually, and then you cut out.
You can just step out of the oracle circle and talk normally.
Yeah, we did establish that you don't have to. We have time to talk between questions.
And just gather.
that's fair. That is probably not worth an extra night.
Agron continues to mutter to himself as he strips the breastplate off of his corpse and pulls an opal out of his one hand. He starts fumbling with the breastplate, and it magically resizes itself to fit him. But for a moment, he is literally standing inside a giant-sized breastplate, waiting for it to resize to him.
That's adorable.
Magic is pretty cool. I gotta agree with you there.
So what do we think? I have more questions about the Yellow King. And his disciples. I was a bit curious about that old woman we met.
If I might ask a little question,
Mm-hmm.
could we, if we have the chance, could we spend a question on where my dad is?
Oh, that's him. Okay. I didn't hear the accent for a second. Like, wait, who? I thought you were saying something out of character.
No. No, I know where my out of character dad is.
I have no problems with that. Anyone?
No.
I understand that the fate of the world stuff comes first, but I'd really like to.
No, that makes sense.
Thank you.
Did he want to do it himself, or is it one person per day?
Oh no, it's any number of people per day.
Okay.
But he's kind of. It's doesn't have to be now. I'd just like it to be, if we have the chance, I'd love to slip it in there.
Wasn't me this time.
Igaron looks puzzled at why you're chuckling at him. What? What did I say? I don't understand. Is this some little people joke that I don't know about?
Inks just smirks really hard. Well, his first arches a brow, and Adriel a bit, like, surprised, but then surprisingly admirable. Oh, they learn so fast.
It's hard to hate your push to talk when you're like that.
Well then, does anyone have any objections to asking about the Yellow King's hand?
No, that seems to be the next next line of questioning. Yeah.
It does.
Sounds good. Inks will wander back over inside the circle. Who or what is the Yellow King's hand?
So the question is, who or what is the Yellow King's hand?
Yes.
The answer is, he is an average man with an extraordinary book. Hastur speaks through him. Ring, ring, hello? Am I still
Yeah,
on?
sorry, I was writing that into the scratch pad.
Okay. Sorry, everything went real quiet for a second.
I'm
I was
also
also
musing.
trying
That
to
was
write
good.
it in the scratch pad.
Oh, sorry.
I don't mind.
Yeah, War.
I'm just
I
glad
don't
I
think.
know that it had been committed before I did.
Yeah, I don't think Roll20 really integrates version control into its handouts, so be careful.
To the Google document.
I mean, you can if you want.
Is this the first time Haster has been mentioned?
No.
Yeah,
Questions.
I'm almost certain that his name has come up before.
But as directly, like, associated with the Yellow King?
Yeah.
Okay, wanna make sure. Everything else has been written has been Yellow King, Yellow King, Yellow King.
Multiple names, same being. He's old and likes to grandstand. Beings like that accumulate names. As a group, you murdered him good. Did you give Abe's corpse to a demon lord?
No, Thess
I
had.
think so.
No, Thess had been using it as a.
Did you?
Yeah.
I thought I traded it to him.
No, that was
Everything- or was that just murdering him?
That was the
You-
one.
you murdered-
Daryl?
You made a contract with Graz to murder a guy who you hated anyways.
Yeah. Thess
Fair.
raised Ave so that he could pay off his debt for betraying them and doing all that shit.
Oh, so we have Thess to blame for being alive again.
His corpse should still be with her. Unless it died.
He was raised as a corpse.
Yep, he was a zombie.
She's a necromancer.
It bears repeating. PCs of last game were not really good people.
She was the best one. She had good reasons.
She was
Oh,
the closest to having morality.
Yeah.
Basically,
that
she was in
sounds
the
right.
she was in the Order of Cereso.
Well, I definitely want to play the next one of those games that comes around.
It's basically
I
her
don't know.
god, or like she believed that her god let like evil people or those who have sinned basically find a way to go to heaven, quote unquote, by being raised as undead by orders of the Cereso and then using those corpses to fight other evil. Basically pay off his indentured servitude.
I remember you talking about that.
So yeah, still kind of creepy, but not as evil as some of the other people in the party.
That's not a good bar to hold your character.
She was
And
lawful
also,
neutral, how about
the other
that?
ones did have morality. It just wasn't a good morality.
It was her own laws of morality.
Hey, the law, just thinking that, whatever makes you more money is the right thing to do, is still technically a morality.
Yeah, basically.
Anyhow, though, y'all have some. Y'all do still have an oracle to ask questions to, and a current campaign.
Yeah, we got 2 more questions.
2 more questions.
We have 2 more questions, one of which we have offered to
If
He's
we
not
can't come up
really-
with, if we can't
He's
come
not
up with 2 more
really-
questions, he gets the last one. But
I have no doubt that you will manage to come up with 2 more questions. You will probably manage to come up with more, knowing you guys.
Right, so the
So many
question is,
questions.
are we going to spend another night?
Let's ask the Oracle.
That's actually the last question I scribbled into the scratch pad. Is it better for the fate of the world if we spend an extra night to ask more questions?
I
Yeah.
like the idea of the question, but it's too complicated. We should phrase it the way Rich did, and just, are we going to spend the night?
No, because then we get caught up in a Twilight Zone episode, and I don't want to be William Shatner.
Why wouldn't you want to be William Shatner?
When you ask the question correctly, it sort of answers itself, doesn't it?
We may still want to ask what the name of the servant of the Shadow King is, so that when we go to Neverwinter, we can at least ask around if anyone's heard of said person.
Or at least some identifying detail.
Yeah.
How will we know?
It might be more worthwhile. Well, no, I suppose we are unlikely to see the book directly without going hunting for it, but certainly taking it away from him would be a good start.
I have a feeling that the only way to take it away from him is going to be to kill him first.
Sorry, take what away from whom?
The book away from the Yellow King's hand.
Ah,
I'm just sort of assuming he's going to treat it like a spell book and therefore be paranoid about losing it.
But how paranoid? And how good is he at being effectively paranoid?
He does have a creepy extraplanar being speaking through his head. Probably.
I mean, when you say creepy, just how sane is the Yellow King?
In character, I don't think we have any idea.
Yeah, no clue.
Yeah, no clue.
But any being that makes people do what they've been doing in order to like take over and enslave the world is probably creepy.
What have we actually seen them do, though?
Infiltrate
in this part.
society
Be
by
crazy-
being apparently nice people.
The creepy cult. Too happy. Too happy. Or at least the higher ups are making like people who don't know any better be super happy.
I mean, let's turn that around and say, what is there to like about them?
They do a lot of, I mean, apparently for selfish motives, but they do charitable work, so they're not like wholly evil. They're not like servants of Bane or Cyric or anything like that. They're not demon worshippers who, you know, their idea of how to further the faith is to just murder everybody they can get their hands on.
Right.
I am not seeing the difference here.
That's why one
You're
of my
not seeing-
questions would technically
Oh,
be
no,
from
we've
Inks
only
asking.
seen, like, this party has only seen them be a little bit too friendly in a kind of weird way.
And then
and
the
then
old
we
lady was
have-
hiding something.
And we know the old lady was hiding, so like, and we have like plenty of reason to believe that this is all for an ulterior motive, but it's not like, it's not a death cult, it's not a dragon cult, it's not demon worshippers. They're not the worst thing we've ever seen, depending on how bad Hastur is. But the only thing we know about Hastur is he's bad. We don't know how bad, and he's a big threat, but we don't know how big or why or any or what he's all about. I mean, out of
No,
character,
but-
yeah, we know exactly how bad this is, but in character, we only have
What we are
it's a
told
new
from
church
the
that's
end
kind of
of
weird, and what we heard from a mind flayer. particularly friendly mind flayer, but nevertheless.
But I mean, it's a cult, so I usually would assume that they're up to no good from the get-go.
It's just a religion
proven
below a
otherwise.
certain threshold. Certain popularity threshold.
I don't know. I would say that Scientology is a cult.
There are people that wouldn't, not counting people in it.
Not that I'm aware of, but they also
Sorry.
have the. They're also not big enough to become a mainstream religion, because if you look at the way, say, Christianity used to convert people. Anywho, off topic. I'm just saying that we, in character, we don't have any reason to believe Hester's anything different than the average unfriendly god, or average non-allied god.
I mean, if you want to know more about the Yellow King, you can ask a question.
I think learning more about like why Hester is so dangerous is definitely something along those lines is
Well,
definitely a valuable piece of information.
I'm not going to argue with that particularly, although we have been specifically told that the beings that the Yellow King heralds are a meaningful part of the threat.
And the greatest threat to everyone in the realm.
Okay, but why?
Feel free to ask. We can stay another night.
I think that should be our next question, though. How to phrase it is.
Because he will bring infinite pizza and chocolate cake and soda, and everyone will die of the beatus.
Yes, because the Yellow King is totally going to come.
He will
and
invent pizza.
Yes, he will invent pizza and other delicious foods so that he can carry on his disciples' work of feeding the entire world.
Death.
Bastard.
What an awful fucking being he is.
How will the Yellow King and the beings he heralds destroy us? Did that come across?
Yeah, that
Yes.
came across.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wondering
I think
whether.
attempt to destroy us would be a better wording.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, otherwise wouldn't the answer just be old age?
Like,
It's an awful lot of confidence.
or like how is the Yellow King and the beings he heralds going to threaten the realm?
The question is, how are the Yellow King and the beings he heralds going to threaten the realm?
If everyone's okay with that?
Yeah.
I don't see any holes in it.
The answer is, the beings he heralds and their creations will bring unwinnable war to both mortals and gods. They will reshape the world in their own image, and those who survive will go mad.
Well, they certainly don't sound like good people.
Yeah, I'm sold.
I can't speak for any of the rest of you, but I don't intend to perish or scream or enter screaming madness.
I feel like that's generally a safe thing to assume about people.
Generally.
You say that,
Different
and yet
defi-
somewhere out there, there are people trying to bring this about.
Different definitions of screaming and madness, but yes, exactly not that one.
Okay, so that puts us down to one question for the day, yes?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
By the way, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, we might want one more day just to be. Because we also might want some more information about the undead stuff.
Yeah, we need information about that too.
Heck, we could even ask about our new friend and see if our proposition would actually work.
That's true.
Which proposition?
The professor.
Oh, yeah.
What was the proposition?
Him using constructs to hold back the undead threat.
Ah.
Because we have that. We have more stuff about the undead. We have potentially asking about the old woman to see how far down the totem the knowledge is.
I mean, it would inform any moral choices we make going forward.
Mm-hmm. We can even ask like which yellow disciples know about Hastur's true purpose. Or just
like that
basically what
question.
the motivation is of the old woman, probably.
I like the which disciples know Hastur's true purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I like it as well.
Works for me.
So that one, and then we save stuff on undead, and then question about our new orc friend's father tomorrow.
Now, when you say new orc friend, do you mean new orc friend, or you mean new orc friend?
New orc friend.
I think the correct response there is just yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
No, emphasis on everything. New orc friend.
I can't tell if that was the sexual or non-sexual emphasis of friend.
That would
Yes.
be new orc friend with benefits.
Cloud giant in the streets, orc in the sheets.
Oh no. All right, you guys still have one more question. What do you want it to be?
So the other categories we want to ask about are the undead and the constructs, right?
Yes.
Let's do something else.
And also his dad.
And his dad. I'm thinking the constructs and the undead, I don't think we're going to want to do with one question. Like, we're going to want to ask two or three questions on each.
Yeah.
Which means we need another day. Which means if we only have one question for today, we can ask where his father is. And then he can head out tonight if he wants to go on his own or whatever.
Yeah, if we're doing half
In
and half.
exchange for the assistance he has provided us, we can get him his question now.
Mm-hmm. So we say that which disciples know about the plan for tomorrow. Yes, no?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Since we've already committed to staying until tomorrow, so.
Alright. Then guess. Now, how do you spell it? How do you pronounce his name?
His dad's name is Blagothkus.
Oh no, I meant him. She's gonna let him ask.
Oh, Igeron.
Hi, Gordon, darling. Would you like to ask your question now?
Oh, absolutely. Let's do it.
Be our guest.
He steps up to the circle. Where is Blagothkus, my father? The answer is, his shadow falls on Parnast. Roll history. You know it's south somewhere. You're unclear about where exactly.
Yeah, I can help you.
Yeah.
Do you know where that is, darling? He's asking you.
No, I've never heard of it. You know anywhere where I could...
South of the Sword Coast, at least.
You know anywhere I could go and find a good cartographer, I guess? Someone with good maps?
Which is hard to go. You know who might be able to help is the construct guy. He seems to like company in general. And he seems like the type who might have maps.
All right. Would you mind if I went back with you then?
By all means.
Thank you.
There are some things about your new situation we should probably explain on the way.
More than this?
Part of this.
Oh no.
Hmm.
This gets worse all the time.
The out of character knowledge, or the war that we know about.
Yeah, that's in
Oh.
character knowledge.
Yeah, sorry, I
That's
misspoke.
that's in character knowledge that you guys probably do not have out of character. Basically, 10-ish years ago, before either campaign actually happened, a big orc war ran through most of the North Silver Marches. So, Felbar, Sundabar, Silvery Moon, Everland, that whole area kind of got fucked up. Most of the
Science
North,
shaking her head.
most of the North is kind of still bitter about it.
Inks is gonna dig into her bag and pull out her other hat. If we must, we must. You can borrow my hat for a while.
Oh, thank you. He puts it on. Is this the one that just does the human?
Yep.
The human woman?
Yep. No, it's a half elf.
The half-elf woman?
Yep. So she's just like looking in a mirror image.
Oh no.
She's just gonna like raise an eyebrow, smirk to herself, and like give like the 360 wandering around. Huh, never seen it from the back before.
I'm a woman?
No, you're disguised as a woman.
It's
Just
true.
saying,
It's
like,
a
it's so
significantly
bad.
different experience.
Inks will like give him the pouty face. Fine, fine. You can be whatever you like. She'll take off her hat and with a grin.
No. Keep your hat. I'll...
I'm I'm more surprised that he's not surprised.
You at least have an excellent singing voice now.
I suppose so. At least I'll get something out of it.
I'm fine letting you borrow something you prefer. I mean, it's probably a bit better than me wandering around as a twin now. I just wanted to see what it looked like.
That's fair enough.
She'll swap with him. But I would like it back eventually.
Of course.
Thank you, darling. She'll set it back on her hat. Or the other hat.
Right.
Her headband. They're both headbands.
Igaron. What would Igaron turn into? Igaron would probably turn into a buff-looking human. Actually, he'd probably turn into a buff-looking dragonborn.
A cloud giant?
Actually, no, you're right. Shit. Buff-looking human it is. Damn.
It's something that's honestly pretty close to what it used to look like, but not blue.
Yeah,
Maybe a little shorter.
not blue, and maybe like a
Okay.
third the size.
If he still wanted to be blue, he could probably be like a moon elf.
Ganassi.
That's true, Ganassi.
Or Ganassi, or however it's pronounced.
Yeah, Igaron looks down at himself and starts pondering and kind of tweaking little bits of what he looks like now. He's still fully armored.
Oh yeah. No, I assumed that his clothes would not disappear. That would be an entirely different look.
He did basically just undergo a transformation sequence.
He's a magical boy now.
I like this a bit better.
It's a good look.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, I'm back to the right gender again.
Don't knock it until you've tried it, darling.
Here, here.
See, now you're assuming I haven't tried it.
Oh. I would love to hear that story later.
Yeah. Igron's gonna ignore your request for his story and kind of just keep modifying himself.
So I'm just like Inks and Soliloquy are just like looking back and forth between him and each other, just kind of like giving approving nods.
Indeed.
I suppose that's all of our questions for tonight.
What time of day is it in game?
I mean, it's probably only been about an hour since it relit, so it's still morning. You guys have basically a full day to kill before the Oracle is available again.
So, do we want to go out further into the mountains to release the flask? This would be a good place to do it, or as good a place as any.
You do have a point.
There was fairly little nature to have been destroyed.
Just mountains, which can usually withstand that sort of thing, as well as anything can.
Assuming he's not actively trying to destroy us while he is still friendly.
Well, if he's actively trying to destroy us, I think we can take friendly out of the description. But we have assurances that he won't. And he'd be much less likely to cause any accidental harm.
And if Igaron and Harshdog don't mind staying here just to make sure the portal stays open.
What are you going to do? Better question. Do I want to know?
We don't know enough about what you would want to know to really answer that question, Igron.
That's true. What are you going to do?
Release a sealed being. One that could be very bad if it was an enemy.
What kind of sealed being?
An elemental.
To be more precise, we're going to send it back to its original plane. And hopefully it'll never set foot here again.
I can come with you for an elemental.
I suspect it will be something to say.
Alright. Let's go with this elemental of yours then.
What are Harshnog's feelings in the matter?
I will stay.
Much appreciated.
I've seen many things in my life. I do not need to see this.
Ink just gives him that look like, I need stories later.
So many people need to tell us stories, oh my god!
know, right?
I'm feeling we will have time after we're done with this. Hopefully, knock on wood.
Hopefully. Though she'll give kind of like a side, quiet mutter to Adril and Syl and them. The problem with this is one more knowing messes up your poker face a bit when you're trying to talk to our lord.
He would have no reason to speak with Lord Naboon.
You would think so.
I mean, are you guys planning on speaking to Lord Naboon anytime soon?
We're putting it off as long as possible.
Yeah. But eventually,
I kind of
basically,
think-
they're going to have to bluff, and the more... it's that whole poker thing. The more people you have in on it, the harder it is to bluff.
Why do we want to fluff it?
Keep a secret, but only if one of them's dead.
Yes. What are we intending to tell him?
Good question. What are you intending to tell him about why you're not bringing him the primordial?
We don't have that anymore. We don't have it anymore.
For that matter, what are you intending to tell the Duke about why you're not about what you did with the primordial?
Why would we tell the Duke anything?
Because he's going to ask.
But he doesn't know he doesn't know for sure that we ever had it.
Yeah, like, we
And he
didn't
had
show
an-
it to him.
Explicitly deal for it. And just kind of let it slide.
I thought a certain bird at a time let loose that we had it.
I don't believe I explicitly said we did.
It was mostly like, if we had it, then this, but I'm not saying anything either way.
Yeah.
The Duke's not a total idiot, though.
Well, no.
There's always the idea that some drow came for revenge and knocked it out of our hand. So we had no choice but to release it into the back to its plane, or else it was going to mess up ours.
The containment was failing. Specifically, the containment failed.
We have a reactor breach down here. Very dangerous. Give us some time to clean it up.
Yep.
Nothing.
We're fine. How are
We're fine.
you?
Everything's fine. How are you?
Anyhow. Primordial explanations.
I'm gonna go with containment failure.
It overpowered us and escaped.
Yeah, I'm still saying somebody like, knocked it out and it opened by itself.
I mean,
But since it was still in our possession, we had enough time to get it out.
okay, so I have a question. Would it really be so terrible to tell him the truth? I mean, it's probably not a good idea, but is it a really incredibly terrible idea? Will we be executed for being honest about this?
Nah, worst case, I think it's fired. And I'd really rather not lie, which is why I want to say, like, containment failure. If you ask how the containment failed, we opened it. But
I am fairly sure that he will ask why the containment failed.
Yes, you bleeding hearts. I enjoy not losing some of the good life that I have through this.
In all fairness, he is not the best employer I have ever had.
Not the worst either, trust me.
True. But I think we're at a point in our lives where different employment might suit us. Not as something to be explicitly sought, of course. I don't intend to call him up and quit, but I'm not sure that his firing us is the worst thing that could happen.
So who else with a lot of money and power do you know?
At this point, have we not met at least a few harpers and nobles of various cities?
Do we have enough of an in with them is the question.
Alternatively, given how much cash we have, do we really need employment right away? I mean, I suppose Flint. I know Inks does, given her expenses, or her ideal rate of expense. But
Inks also likes keeping people in her good favor.
yeah,
And vice versa. Strike that reverse.
whereas Edril could take a decade or two off.
If you let me blame it on you, I'm fine with that. I had nothing to do with it.
I am fairly broke at this point, although I do not regret it. Money comes and money goes. Nature will sustain me.
I'm just saying if you love the truth that much, I'll just wipe my hands of it and it's all fine.
We are still planning to put off talking to him as long as possible, though.
Of course.
Yeah.
The best lie is one you don't have to tell.
Isn't that the truth? But to be fair, they are quite fun when you get to. Just get it over with then.
Wait, you're gonna call them up now?
No, releasing the primordial.
Oh,
I mean, I assume that we're getting a decent distance from the entrance to the Oracle.
Yeah.
yeah, you can probably make it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
What? Yeah, you can make it 20, probably a good 20 miles north at least. You have a flying carpet. You're not waiting for Harshnag. You can probably make it more, actually. Call it 30 miles north.
I was gonna say whatever 3 hours of flight takes us to.
Oh yeah. Carpet.
Yep.
Like, is it
So,
really that
Double
big?
check we got the scroll
Why
before
don't
we
you
leave.
take and eat it too?
Do we have
Good
any
job.
fallback plans if the primordial lied, or if the oracle lied?
That's why we have the scroll of banishment.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, one sec. Y'all wanted to release the primordial.
Do we still have that ring of fire resistance? I think now might be a good time for it.
Yeah, I think I'm learning that.
Remember that thing that you have about the magic rings still?
Uh,
Oh, no, I do not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you missed that.
How long does that last?
Another 10 days.
Jesus.
What's going on?
Her wild magic for the reincarnate spell made it so that all magic rings
nice.
don't work within like so many distance,
feet.
so much distance from her.
60 feet, yeah. So if we
Can't
have it,
you prepare like a druid spell to deal with that? With fire damage specifically?
let me
Protection
try.
from elements. I don't know if that's on the druid list or not.
I mean, I'm fine already. I'll probably burn a little bit slower and die a little bit slower than the rest of you.
Yes, level 3 protection from energy. It is a concentration spell for one willing creature. So, who are we having open the flask?
Before you do that,
Yeah.
continue. Decide who you want to have open the flask. I'm just moving some stuff around in the background. You want to do it?
If I can get the protection from energy, yes. But Ox will be willing to do it. Somebody else is going to have to cast Banish, though.
All right. Do me a favor. Arrange yourselves on the map as to where you'd be when you release the primordial.
Oh god.
Do we have tokens, or do we have to put them?
Just drop them on.
Here, I'll go to the south. As I assume everybody else wants to get out of the blast radius.
Are you opening it?
Ox, yes, unless somebody else wants to.
I mean, shouldn't it be the person who's going to cast the banish?
I mean, is that really the best idea, though?
What's the distance on Banish? It's probably a good idea.
$60 feet.
I mean, I'm just saying, supposing the primordial does decide to be violent, having the person with Banish scroll being the one right next to him at the start is probably not the best idea.
Yeah, I didn't realize the range was quite that far.
Also, I think Ox was the main one pressing to free the elemental, so
He
if
was.
shit goes bad, I'm willing to take the punishment for it.
I'm ready to run in and help if you need it, but
It'll be fine.
I mean, you have the scroll, right?
I have the scroll, but I can't use it.
Is it between me and, or like, who can use it? No ink.
Whoever
spell.
has it on their spell list.
What kind of...
Wait, what?
Cleric, paladin, sorcerer, warlock, wizard.
So
I
you
don't-
do.
Oh, I can.
Yeah. So
actually.
yeah.
However, if I remember correctly, the way scrolls work, if you could not actually cast the spell because you don't have the spell slots, it's more difficult for you to do so.
Well,
Yeah,
here's the confusing thing. I have the spell slots, but I cannot prepare third level spells.
That's fine, it's a 4th level spell.
Yeah, that is also.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Level
think
slots, but I
Inks
can't
needs to do it.
I can do it with a check, but
Yeah, so you'd have to make a spellcasting ability check to successfully cast.
Oh, fine.
I've also dropped a little token for Igeron. He's the human warrior in green.
Inks will reach out her arm and do like the little flip of her fingers asking for the scroll. Oh, what the hell. First time for everything. This should at least be interesting.
All right. Are you
All
ready?
right. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Grab the scroll.
Who are you casting protection from energy on?
So, yeah,
Probably the one who needs it.
touch
On
range.
Ox? Okay.
All right. Hop open the flask.
All right. So you jimmy the cork out from the top of the flask, and at first, nothing appears to happen. But after a couple of moments, some wisps of flame begin to emerge from the flask. Slowly at first, but accelerating until there is an enormous torrent coming out from the flask, coalescing into an enormous fire in front of you, which slowly stretches itself into a mostly human shape, complete with arms and a very large grinning mouth.
Hi.
I would feed Ox greetings in primordial.
I do my best to pronounce it.
Make a intelligence check, Ox.
Oh dear.
If
Well,
you're...
Oh dear.
Oh boy. All right, roll a d20 for me. Flat d20. The primordial screeches and belches fire at you.
So much for it being friendly when it's open.
I should have just gone myself.
Probably. I don't know why you did that. Yeah, the primordial screams, belches some fire at you. The fire it belches doesn't particularly harm you. However, the heat and flame just passively emanating from the primordial is kind of overwhelming.
Right.
So you have resistance, so take half of that. Is anybody else within 30 feet of him? Nope. Good.
And that was distinctly not an attack, just him talking and it being very hot.
The damage is literally just from being in the vicinity of him.
Ox, you should get back.
Probably. But I'm just gonna keep talking to him. So, well, long story short, you were imprisoned, but we freed you, and now we're gonna send you home if you're okay with that, and if you can understand me.
Do you speak primordial?
No, this isn't common.
It screeches more at you.
Silically, can you just talk to it?
Yeah. So you understand it as foolish metal construction. Why have you brought me here?
Yeah,
Am I to be your plaything?
I'm just going to go ahead and start yelling towards its sans interpreter. So all of this is in Primordial. We have freed you for the purposes of returning you to your home. You came for war, you grew sick of war, and you decided to rest and were captured. You have served any punishment you needed to for the damage you have inflicted to this plane. We would send you to where you belong and ask you to never return.
Have you a way to send me home, little one?
We do.
He begins walking towards you.
Please do not approach closer. I am not immune to your heat.
He stops about. He stops a little bit further away from you. Proceed. Send me back to my people.
Simply allow my friend's spell to act on you, and you shall return home. And turn it not to ink.
So Inks will unfurl the scroll and just kind of read through it, cast it.
Alright. That is of a level you can cast. And it's on your spell list. So, what's the range on management?
60 feet, which is why, yeah.
Okay. The Primordial. Describe the banish spell to me.
Well, given Inks' type, it would probably be just like adding some more like, not actual flames, but kind of like a blue fake flame around it that kind of creates, I guess, kind of a doorway in front of it that just kind of pushes forward into it and through it.
Alright. The doorway in front of him opens into a realm of pure fire. And the Primordial looks at it, and the maw it has twists into a smile. Ah, yes. Send me home. You've done me a great thing, younglings. If you've need of it, call to me. I am Megara, the Dawn Titan. And I am in your debt. With that, he walks through the door and vanishes back to his home plane.
I have no idea what he was just saying in all those roars, but that was interesting.
Did you intend to end at what? I heard I have no idea what, and then you cut off.
Oh. Like I said, I have no idea what he was saying through all that screaming, but it sure was fun to watch.
Well, a Primordial just said he owes you a favor. So that's a thing.
Nobody else knows that except Syl, but yes.
Yes, that's also true. I mean, you can totally tell people that...
I can, and I am absolutely the sort of person to do so.
Alright.
Defeated him through friendship.
We don't have to go into specifics.
Guess it'd be more fun that way if we ever do have to call on him. Oh yeah, this is our bro. Like, remember the fire, like the Dawn Titan? I'm sure you've heard of him.
Yeah, you know, NBD, we're best buds with a primordial.
Yeah. Yeah, what's the better thing? We defeated a primordial, or we're best buds with a primordial?
No.
Or I guess like an ancient primordial owes us a debt.
That's best bros.
Yeah, not many people can claim that.
Well, to be fair, aren't most people's experiences with primordials, oh shit and dead?
Like, oh
Yes.
god, oh god, I'm burning! Oh god, everything is fire!
Yeah, that's a pretty good description of what they do to most people.
Gee, that looks like a dead.
Person's shadow imprint against a wall.
I think we should definitely add him to miscellaneous characters.
Yeah. Also, hey, we have a free flask that can put something in it now.
Also, yes.
Guess what we should put in it?
You have something in mind?
Well, I mean, obviously, if Haster comes over.
Red Rover, send Haster on over.
And into this fucking flask.
Oh, he's not gonna like that.
I mean, it's only a DC 17 wisdom save. I'm pretty sure Haster can make that.
Yeah, probably. But it was funny.
Out of character, I want to ask you to stop calling his name. In character, I don't think I have any reason to say anything.
Hmm?
Is that no longer an operative thing?
Oh no, that's well, in character, you guys have no idea.
Right, and I'm not going to say anything in character, but I am kind of curious out of character.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wasn't saying that in character. That was me, like, shooting the shit. Thinking, like, let's put Haster in it. Nah, I think Ink knows better than that.
Is there a thing where if we say his name too many times into a mirror in a
Like
bathroom that he'll be
Beetlejuice.
summoned?
Yeah, except we don't need the mirror, just anywhere will do.
It's better when it's the mirror of a speeding car.
Would an elder thing even notice a speeding car driving into it?
No, I just meant the idea, like, if you say it into a mirror and she's supposed to appear behind you. So if it's like through the side mirror of a car, then she's just chasing behind.
Right. So he succeeded. We should probably get back to the eye.
Yeah.
We really should.
That was not an elemental. Not an elemental at all. What the fuck
made of
was
fire.
that? Yeah, I've never seen an elemental that big before.
True.
You're not gonna tell me what that was, are you?
It was a primordial, one of a number of ancient elementals who came here to wage war.
And why do you have a primordial?
I mean, do you not? I thought everybody did.
No.
Thanks just works at that. You know how bleeding hearts are.
We got it through a complicated series of events, and we decided the right thing to do was to let it go home.
Uh-huh.
Rather than keep it enslaved.
I suppose you're a weird bunch of people.
Yes.
Thank you, darling.
Oh, I shouldn't be complaining. I'm a giant in an orc disguised as a human.
It's true, we do tend to make people's lives a great deal more weird by being in it.
No. We make them more interesting.
Anything is more interesting than being stuck in that cave staring at that fucking circle for days after days. Trust me. But yes, you do.
But just as a note, if anyone asks, do keep it hush-hush, will you, darling?
You cut off.
Just basically, but just in case, he'll keep it hush-hush, won't he?
Keep it on the down low.
Yeah, like finger to lips.
I understand that. Wouldn't be the first secret I've kept. I can do that.
Much obliged. It happens. Yep, so I guess we
Shall we
just
head back?
Dog. Yep.
Alright. Iron climbs back on the carpet, waits for you guys. Spends the ride back kind of watching.
On the way out, Anxel just put out an ice storm just to put out any fires that started on the ground during that whole ordeal.
That's fair. Yeah, there's a big patch of melted snow and a bit of melted rock where Megara was standing.
And now it's getting more snow and ice put it back on top of it. Good as new.
Alright. Yeah. Agaron spends most of the trip just watching scenery go by. But you guys return to the Eye of the Allfather and head back in without not really seeing anything. It's very quiet out here in the middle of the mountains.
Did Agaron say how long he was,
How long what?
How long he was dead for?
A while? I don't know.
Did we
It's I was underground the whole time, so it's a bit hard to tell time.
Did we find out how he died?
Dad killed him.
Mm-hmm. That's why we're going after Dad eventually, maybe.
What'd he do to Dad?
If I recall correctly, the Oracle said he would overshadow his father, so his father killed him.
The Oracle basically told his dad that that his dad would never amount to anything, and told Igeron to go ahead and just step out of his shadow.
Very Shakespearean.
Pretty dick move on his dad's part.
His dad is probably one of the evil variety of cloud giant.
I mean, there's evil and then there's huge dick. And murdering your son because he's going to be better than you isn't just evil, it's a huge dick move.
Well, seeing as we've got time to kill, Inks is pulling out the alchemy jug. Let's have a party.
Indeed.
I'd ask if you guys want to carouse, but there isn't really anything around you guys to carouse, unfortunately.
That's fine.
We can carouse all by ourselves.
That's true. Inks is actually half tempted to do it this time, since there's nobody else around. So rare.
Wouldn't that mean we would just carouse each other?
I like the way you think, darling.
We have to roll to see whose bed we all end up in.
We just play.
You always black out and wake up in a blank.
We play a game of spin the alchemy jug.
That can only end awesome.
Agreed. I knew Torch would come into this.
All right. Well. All right. Well, bringing out the alchemy jug, Igeron is going to take a few swigs of it and then start moving objects around with his mind.
What?
Now, that's an impressive drug talent.
You are just full of talents.
It's just a thing that cloud giants can do.
Yeah, but A, we didn't know that, and B, we're all kind of drunk.
That's true.
This is amazing.
But yeah, Igron starts picking random objects up from around the thing. He makes a couple of torches dance around. He lifts a couple of you guys up if you're willing to let him and kind of floats you around the room.
Oh, Inks is all over that.
Whee!
Oh, yeah.
Y'all can fly!
Surprisingly freeing.
So yeah, that's a thing that Igaron does. Does anybody else want to do anything while you party besides drink?
Drinking and putting on a show, because that's what Inks does. Except for the drinking part, that's new.
I mean, is there any water around?
Oh boy.
Wasn't there like a fountain somewhere?
I am checking the map to. I'm checking the map. It doesn't look like there's a fountain anywhere that you guys have been.
Actually, I mean, what about those other doors?
The northern doors? You wanna start inspecting those while you guys are drunk?
That'll only end in tears.
No, that can only lead to good things. Come on.
Well, now the thing is, normally I might have some pause about that, but on the other hand, I've been drinking.
Trying to decide if Adriel would have been drinking to get drunk or just, to enjoy the flavor. I'm thinking she'll go with enjoy the flavor because there's no one around to play with.
That's fair.
Ergo, she would probably try and prevent anyone from exploring any new doorways while inebriated.
That's fair.
Inks just pouts at that.
How do you go about dissuading these lovely drunk people from trying to go through the super cool doorways that they've found that no one has ever been through before?
And that was the day that Adriel decided we should play Spin the Alchemy Jug.
Well, keep in mind, I still have the mundane whip that I can use to entangle people.
Kinky!
So if that becomes necessary.
Are you just going to tie up the other members of the party until they stop being so drunk everywhere?
If necessary, yes.
Oh boy. Alright. Thanks to Adriel's considerable dedication, nobody goes through the north doors. They remain unexplored for
But
the
there
time
might be
being.
a fountain through there.
We'll check in the morning when you're all hungover and need water anyway.
That's probably a good idea. Good idea. I just thought of a super cool thing I can actually do with multiple casts of it. Well, I can use water to animate some of the water into little marching humanoid figurines, right? And then I can freeze the figurines. I can make little ice people.
Cute.
That's one way to build a snowman.
So I was like, do you want to build a snowman?
After you've frozen the little ice people, Igaron starts making them fly around the room. Whee!
Inks can use Major Image to make a backdrop for what's going on.
They're like cloud giants that are going to battle. It's awesome.
Should make illusions of Cloud Giant, smaller Cloud Giant towers and stuff, and move them around. It's like puppet theater, but with Major Image.
He makes little clouds for them to float on. Man, we got to get you guys back to another city sometime soon in Karazing.
Aw. Oh, well, that's being a bad influence.
I guess. Does anybody else have carousing? I say the term. I use the term loosely here. To that they want to do.
I think that's enough to occupy me for the evening.
Yeah, I'm all set.
All right. All right. Y'all wake up in the morning. Those who were heavily drinking, roll me Constitution checks, please, or con saves.
Like, what if you have poison immunity?
Sorry. Who has poison immunity now?
Inks does. She has that periapt.
Okay, that's cool. Ox, you're fine. The ooze just went straight through you. You're fine. Rich, you wake up with a massive hangover. Loud noises kind of hurt for the next little while. Syl, you have a bit of a headache, kind of a sore throat. You're dehydrated, but you're not super bad like Rich is.
Oh, good. I believe there was some mention of hunting for a fountain.
There was.
Probably a good idea. Inks goes about seeing if Richard is a blackout drunk and then starts making up stories of what he did. Like, you don't remember tongue locking with Igaron? It was pretty.
Doing what?
I'm not sure they were tongue locking. The tusks did tend to get in the way. That would be a terrible thing to say. Agaron's still dealing with that.
Igaron looks very, very peeved. He marches out of the room and goes over in front of the statue of Anam.
It's just Pats, don't come back, darling. It was just a joke. Should go see if she can calm him down.
He stays out there.
She certainly didn't mean it, darling. We all know you're still you, no matter what.
I'll be fine.
Just go ask your questions. Let's get out of here. He'll be fine eventually. He's not very happy right now, though. For understandable reasons.
Yeah. We'll do our best to console him a bit and then give him some space. She'll hand over her alchemy jug if he wants something in the meanwhile.
This will do better console him than any words could probably do. He tips the jug to you.
So
Much
try to
obliged.
bet. Well, I suppose I'll have to get a little bit better then. I must be losing my touch. She'll kind of half smirk and then turn back. Alright. Last set of questions then?
6 more. We had the undead threat, our new friend in this tower. Were we going to ask any more about the Yellow King?
We wanted to ask what disciples knew.
How to
His
identify his
true
disciple, yeah?
Yeah, or like identifying which disciples know his true motive.
Also, yes.
All right. So, what'll question number 1 be of those categories?
What do we think? What disciples of the Yellow, like which disciples of the Yellow King know his true motives for coming to this plane?
That's a good place to start.
Yeah. Give me your question then.
Which disciples know
And which disciples of
True
the Yellow
mo-
King know his true plans for this realm?
his true purpose?
His true purpose or
Yes.
his true plans for the realm?
The hand himself, those who listen, and those who bring his message.
More than we expected.
Extraplanar beings, how do they work?
So yeah, the woman who you ran into on the path, her rank, the one who you were super sketched out by, her literal rank is messenger. They're basically a combination of like organizers, missionaries, and high-level couriers.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Alright, do we want to switch to undead stuff?
I mean, unless we have something in particular to go after with the Yellow King still.
Did we ask? Hold on.
Or I guess the question would be, I guess another question for that would be, how do the messengers bring the real, or,
I don't know how that's
Yeah, I
particularly
don't.
important. How will we know the servant of the Shadow King was the only other question on that.
Oh, right.
I thought we'd
on
already
this
asked
topic.
that.
We asked how to
Where
find him, and we
but
heard,
not what he looks like or who he is, so that we
yeah,
know.
he's in Neverwinter and he's fighting the Yellow King. And it's a he.
Alright, I guess we didn't have any more than that. I guess we had decided that it was probably the dwarf we ran across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we couldn't ask more questions, we would go with that, but
Technically, you guys didn't run across him. You met somebody who had seen him.
Yeah.
Right, we were told about him and we didn't actually do any real investigating, but I have to admit it seems like a much more fortuitous time to do so.
Mm-hmm. So is that what we want to focus on this time around, or do we wait?
Okay, well, I think we have decided more or less that we know who we're looking for there, and if he's going on the list, we can probably ask later, once our subconscious has had some time to cogitate on it, although I don't think that in character I would have those particular concepts. Once we've had a little time to think on it.
Okay.
In the meanwhile, there is the looming threat of the undead, and our potential new helper against it.
Mm-hmm. Did we want to go with the phrasing, like in the doc, how can the undead threat be removed from this world? Or do we want to be slightly more specific about which undead threat?
I think we may want to be a little bit more specific.
Yeah. So where did it start from?
It was in the middle of that.
Evermore.
Evermore's, yeah. Okay. Like, how can the undead threat that has plagued the Evermores be removed from this world?
That seems pretty solid.
So phrasing was, how can the undead threat in the Evermores be removed from this world?
At least that started from the Evermores, or that has come from the Evermores.
Okay. Sorry. Answer to that. Resolve the schism in the order. Return the Demon Lord's artifact.
Uh-oh.
I blame Manny.
I don't think any of us have any idea what they were talking about there.
In character, no. I get that.
Yeah. The most we've gotten is the idea that Orcus might be involved. I think that's all somebody, like, mentioned.
Naboon asked you at one point to go check in on them and see what they were doing, because nobody's seen them for a while.
So we have like one order that kind of makes sense, but in terms of Demon Lord, we got like, ah, shit, it's a demon. There's a Demon Lord involved. There's pretty much.
Well, didn't somebody mention a Demon Lord might be involved because of the Devourers and stuff?
Yes. Orcus likes to send Devourers to make sure that his,
So we can at least put that together.
Yeah.
So definitely Orcus. Great.
Okay, so the artifact, where is it? Who holds it? Do
What is it?
terrible things happen if we return it to him?
These are all good questions.
We're like, where's the one who has the artifact, maybe?
I'm inclined to start with a simple what is the artifact?
I mean, you've already put together that it's Orcus.
Is the rod that famous?
It's pretty famous, yeah.
And whoever it is
However,
only going to have one, so.
Yeah, I'll give you guys that one. There's only one artifact that literally has Orcus's name in its title.
Great. One of them has the ruby rod.
I'm just
At
thinking
least
of
it's
Ruby
not
Rod.
the
By resolve the schism, they mean exterminate the lot of them, right? Because if they're all dead, there won't be a schism.
That is an option. You're not wrong.
Hey, you know how to be really good at that? The Dawn Titan.
I'd rather have the Dawn Titan if the Yellow King comes around.
At least we have the option of flipping the table then.
Mm-hmm.
And ensuring that the next campaign happens in a different universe.
Darkstone, woo!
So yeah, what's the next question we want to ask?
Where can we find the Rod of Orcus?
I would just say, where can we find the artifact? Just in case our guess is wrong.
Though if the person has it might be moving, who knows? It might be different by the time we get there. Or maybe who is in possession of the Rod of Orcus?
Who's in possession of the artifact? Because, I mean, if we find someone with a demon artifact, even if they have more than one, we'll just deal with all of them. But yeah, we need a question along the lines of how to find it.
Yeah. Or yeah. I guess how do we find the Wand of Orcus or the Rod of Orcus, whichever. Or how do we find the artifact? How about that?
Yeah.
How do we find the Demon Lord's artifact?
That's a good question.
Question is, how do we find the Demon Lord's artifact?
Yeah.
The answer is travel to the Order of Ceriso, find the heretic leader.
Added.
That's 3 questions for the day.
Alright, well, I feel like we have a pretty good lead on the undead threat.
Ask about construct guy.
The professor.
Yeah. How do we want to phrase that?
I mean, it depends on what exactly we want to know. Can his creations hold back the undead threat for long enough for us to resolve it?
Or like would the plan of using constructs from the professor to hold off or deal with the undead threat, or I guess hold off the undead threat, work?
How bad of an idea is this really?
Or I guess what would happen if
Are we going to help him take over the world with sex bots?
I'm just waiting for like a final phrased thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure it out.
Where exactly was his castle, since we only know him as the professor?
So you see that valley that you guys... Are you guys on the map right now?
No,
No.
we're in the Oracle Chamber.
So you see that valley next where near Mirabar that you guys came in on?
Right, the Valley of
There's a big pink X on the Eye of the Allfather, and there's a big black tower-looking thing on the river, and that's where the professor is. So there.
So the professor in the tower in the Valley of Kidron is a pretty unambiguous identifier, I think.
Yeah.
Or just like the man who works with constructs in the tower in
I guess we want to know if him using constructs.
or the man who
is
calls
going
himself
to-
professor. Because we don't know if he's actually a professor, it could just be a nickname.
We want to ask basically if unleashing the constructs would do more harm than good.
Okay.
That gets to the heart of the actual question we have.
Hold on, yeah, I'm working on it. So something like, what would happen if the man who works with constructs in the tower in the Valley of Kedron used his constructs to hold back the undead plague? To be a little more than a yes or no.
I got what would happen if the man.
Who works with constructs in the tower in the Valley of Kedron used his constructs to hold back the undead plague. Am I missing anything? I was trying to go for a no, yes, or no.
I mean, it really depends on what sort of question you wanted. It really depends on what sort of question you wanted to ask. If we wanted to ask, would we prefer the outcome of empowering or not empowering the man in the tower in the Valley of Kedron?
That might be a better.
I'm not sure if they can answer questions about future preferences.
I guess, would he be a faithful ally in or in holding off the undead plague? A faithful and useful ally.
Is that your final question?
Oh god, I want to use a lifeline.
Shit. Other input? preferences. I guess maybe would. Would asking the help of the professor cause more harm or more good in dealing with the undead plague?
Although with the full identifying efforts that we've already laid in place, the man
Yes.
who works with constructs in the Tower of the Valley of Kedron.
The man who calls himself Professor, whatever it was.
Right.
Just make it cause more harm than good with his constructs, period. No matter what he uses them for.
That's actually probably the best version.
God. May he cause more harm than good with his constructs just in general?
Or like, if given the resources and everything, would he cause more harm to the world or more good?
It would depend on who asked him and what they were asking him to do.
Is that seriously an oracular answer? I mean, I'm not saying that oracles don't answer ambiguously, but damn, that's rough.
I mean,
This oracle is obviously an engineer.
We've clearly tilted it.
I mean, both true facts, but I mean, yeah, that's.
I feel like a better way to ask this question might be to ask. I'm thinking how about the brains that he uses for his constructs. So try and learn more about them.
I mean, that's 4 questions. You have 2 left. What do you want to ask, guys?
How can we burn it all down?
With fire. Alternatively, by calling on that fire primordial that you just got to agree it was you a favor.
Right? Number 1, burning it all down ally.
Yeah, I don't think you need to. I don't think you need an oracular answer for that.
I kind of just want to ask what was the deal with the professor?
Oracle, what is his deal?
Like, Oracle, oh my god, what is his deal? I mean, I think you guys have asked more or less all the specific questions that you were, all the like specific questions you were looking for. I don't know.
Does anyone have any backstory questions they want to ask?
Oh.
Is encouraging awakened trees to be druids like the worst idea ever?
Actually, I do want to ask.
Yeah.
What
Like
happens.
the worst
I
idea.
know
ever.
I know what Ox wants to ask.
I want to ask where Axe went after he left the professor's tower. Or where Axe went after meeting the professor.
Or where is Axe? How about
Where
that?
I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this. I think I want to ask what happened to Axe after he met the professor. It's sort of like a catch-all for...
Because if he's just out wandering the world, that's fine. You'll catch up with him whenever.
Yes.
Might want to be specific about which professor, in case he saw
Well,
multiple.
Yeah, well, the professor of the tower that we met however many days ago.
Several.
Right, I think we unambiguously identified him as the professor who works with constructs in the tower in the Valley of Kedron.
I mean,
Sure.
there could be more than one tower in the Valley of Kedron. No, there isn't. You've unambiguously identified him. So the question is, what happened to Axe after he met the professor?
Yes.
Axe was captured and taken below the tower to be used in the professor's experiments.
Jaw
Well,
drop.
shit. And now we're going back to the tower, yes?
And from outside the circle, what?
Yeah, no, as soon as somebody translates, then what? I should not honestly be that surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I'm our translator in this, or I am one of our translators in this.
Yeah, Igaron is still. Oh, actually, Igaron's still out brooding. Harsh nod.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Igaron.
We still have one more question, right?
Do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask another question about the tower. I'm just trying to think of what exactly we need to ask. I'm torn between asking what threats are in the tower and what specifically, like if Axe has been twisted into anything by this point.
You can ask if there's any way to free him.
Maybe let's go with what threats await in the tower of the professor. Because as far as freeing him, like we can either torture the professor out of that information, or just disable everything in the tower and bring it back here and then ask.
So the question is, what threats await in the tower of the professor?
Yes.
With the full identifying information, of course, because we wouldn't leave that out.
Right. Yeah. All right. I'm just looking at my notes for his tower again. One sec.
True.
All right. Within the professor's tower, there lie clockwork abominations, explosives, and traps of paranoia. Perhaps none more dangerous than the professor himself, however.
And with that, the torches go out.
Well, I think it's time to go kill a mad professor.
Seems that way.
Oh,
I
I
cannot
think
bring
we
myself to
drop in.
object.
I think we drop in as old friends. And she just like smirks at that.
That would get us inside the tower. I'm okay with this.
Who's this professor that you guys are talking about?
We met
Very eccentric wizard.
we met a man on the way in here. Has a tower not too far away. He builds constructs of various sorts. We didn't understand how he built them.
Huh.
There were hints.
We looked, but we didn't see anything that specifically tipped us off until we got here.
I see. Well, if he's on the way, let's pay him a visit.
Yes,
See what he's been doing with this axe fellow.
I feel that would be an excellent option. We should look for some trees on the way.
Why trees?
Because they're friendlier than you might think.
Are we going to have like an entire army of trees by the time we get there?
Remember, we
It's
don't want
what,
to tip
3
them
days?
off, darling.
seems to be the goal.
That's like what, 9 trees? You do it 3 times a day?
3 if I want the Staff of the Woodlands to be in no risk whatsoever. If I push for more than 1 per day, then I risk draining it completely and discharging it as an item.
Ah, okay. I was remembering it as 3 times a day instead of 1 time a day, but clearly I'm misremembering. Makes sense.
Roll perception checks. everyone, please? All right, Adriel, from back whence you came, you hear the crunch of ice and frost, as if something is stepping there.
We have company.
Hmm. Is Igeron alright?
Sorry?
Well, I assume Adriel said there's company and pointed in a direction.
Yep,
That's where
I let
Igeron
people know.
was.
Yeah.
Just asking if Igeron's
Igeron's what?
alright.
Oh, Igeron's standing there with you guys.
Oh, he came
I
in.
moved.
Okay.
Yeah, him and Harshnag are both in there with you.
Can we see what's out there?
Yep. So, coming around the corner, you guys spot what looks like a female storm giant walking towards the oracle.
Oh.
Oh, we may perhaps want to send Harshnag to say hi.
Maybe not.
Can your helmet of telepathy get anything from this far? Sorry,
Not
your
at that
fancy
rate.
hat.
Very fancy hat of telepathy.
I mean, even assuming that we discount the space between here, still it's too far.
Well, hello there. What are little folk doing in the eye of the Old Father?
If she moves any closer, I can get her. Trying to preserve our world.
She's stopped and is standing there. So who might you all be, little people?
I'm called Inks, and may I get your name?
Never mind, your names aren't important to me. Why are you at my oracle?
I think the
believe
reason
I've
should
already
be
answered
obvious.
that question.
I'm sorry, there were like 3 different answers at once there. One at a time, please.
I said I believe I've already answered that question since she asked what we were doing here, and I said trying to preserve our world.
Well, it's most unfortunate for you. I'm afraid you've picked the wrong time to be here.
That sounds very much like a poor decision on your part, and I would urge you to reconsider it. Yeah. She definitely laughs at me.
Yeah.
That's what I get for trying intimidation instead of persuasion.
So the storm giant begins to shift. Begins growing scales, a very long tail, and some very lovely horns.
Oh god damn it.
We were just
Hiya,
asking.
guys. She turns into a very large, very blue dragon. Now, I'll just have to kill you all. The dragon grins a toothy grin.
Wait, was. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, that's it.
Do I think we assume like 50 feet of this doesn't exist because the portal is actually,
It's actually solid cloud. It's
right,
cloud.
there's no actual space there.
No, there should be. It's just cloud bridge.
Oh, I see.
Sorry, I guess that wasn't clear. But
I remember you mentioning the cloud bridge, I just didn't remember it at the time.
yeah, I didn't put it down on the map.
A dragon being allowed to step foot in a giant temple. Something surprises me every day.
Well, we're here.
Little ones.
Not the same, darling.
Little ones. Please. You must all go. You have a world to save. Go save it.
How many lanterns are still lit?
None. You've used all your questions for the day.
Okay, so even if we leave, she doesn't get any today.
You must escape. All of you. Leave this place. I will hold her.
Are you sure that
Did I stutter, little one? Go!
How long, darlings? Richard, you know what to do. Ox, you can run fast.
Your mother was an earthworm?
Not that, the bloody dimension door.
Ah, yes.
Arshnog unsheathes his axe and charges towards the blue dragon. Would you all
In my
please roll initiative for me? All right. The dragon is going to go first. She's going to head straight for Harshnag. She's gonna... She is going to multi-attack Harshnag for the time being.
One of those should not have been a thing, but all of those will hit. The ancient blue dragon lashes out at Harshnag. Joe! Oh god, voice crack. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I still love you.
Okay, we said you.
Bringing the little ones here, telling them the secrets. You get to die first for this. She lashes out with a bite attack and a pair of claws that all sink deep into Harshnag. Ox. What's up?
So we're all just running?
That's the general idea.
Can't save the planet if we're dead.
Alright. Action dash, bonus action, also dash. I move 130 feet.
Alright.
Blue sparks just flying off my feet.
The little ones will wait. No one else will find this temple. Not if I have anything to say about it. You will not have anything else to do with this temple, dragon. Harshnag make a pair of great axe attacks right back at her. And he is going to attempt to grapple her. Ooh, and is just barely going to fail. Oh! All right.
Heck yes.
What do you say to the dragon to fuck her up that badly? How cutting are your words?
God, you're such a light blue. You look like a white dragon, and about as smart as one too.
Oh damn! What?
Apparently, you're hard of hearing too.
Your words come at the perfect time, and Harshnag grabs right onto her. He clutches her in an enormous bear hug. As a matter of fact, they are not. Rich, it's your turn. What's up?
Anybody else need a ride?
Probably Siller,
I gone too. I go on. Adriel's got an elk, so
That's true.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the story with the carpet is right now.
Oh yeah, there's
I
carpet.
assume silk and wild shape and fly away.
Yeah, I've got myself.
And then Adriel can take Acheron. So teleport inks.
Not yet, not yet, not yet.
Well, I'm gonna go to there once Inks hops on.
You're ready
So-
in action?
Delayed action. Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Just come up like 30 feet with me.
Oh, I heard
No, I can make this easier. How about that? And then we go.
But I need to be closer. So
That work?
get up within 30 feet of Harshnag and I'll meet you there.
Why? What?
You'll
he's
see.
gonna cast a spell on him.
I don't know if I can. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to get that close to him in one turn.
Then don't worry about it. I have Dimension Door too.
We may not be all that in a fight, but by God, we can escape.
Rich, you done?
Yes.
All right. Adriel, what's good?
I will grab Igon and pull him on the back of Vicuplo.
Okay.
Then we will dash.
All right. Sounds good.
He does have his regular action, but I actually technically have an action as well, but I can't think of anything worthwhile to do.
Well, because you pass within reach of the ancient blue dragon going that way.
Actually, you know what I will? I cast that.
All right. So she is going to. You don't pass within reach of biting or clawing, but you do pass within reach of tail attacking.
I'll cast Shield to negate that.
All right. Inks. You're up.
Alright. So it's gonna run up here. And actually, let me see. Actually, I was there. Okay. So she is going to twin spell haste on herself and Harshnag. And then use the how much do I got? Well, and she's going to use the rest of the speed to dash back out of the way of any attacks from the thing.
All right.
So like over.
All right.
Over there.
So Igaron is with Adriel right now, I believe.
Yep.
I'm gonna move the elk over there as well.
Sure.
All right, Sil, what are you up to?
I mean, I can't do an infinite amount, but I'm certainly not going to let her attack my friend without consequence.
All right. All right. So you drop a moonbeam on the dragon. She saves, but she does take some radiant damage.
Yeah,
She's
I'll mention.
literally impossible for her not to save.
Seriously, rude.
She has a plus 15 con save modifier.
God damn.
Sigh. I mean, I assume that this is not something that we are actually intended to be able to win against.
Depends how
Unfortunately.
creative you got.
Which means that basically we aren't expected to win.
All right.
But yeah, I am just striding forward, hand out, light from the sky.
Igron, on his turn, is going to touch Adriel, both you and himself, and Bicefalo, and cast Fly on each of you. So you are now riding a flying elk and can
Sure.
fly yourself.
What's the speed on Fly?
So he's going to use that and fly the fuck away.
Thank you.
He waves behind you.
Hold on. The dragon. What's she gonna do?
It's about to start to BB, isn't it?
Hey, it's still grappled, but it flickers of lightning begin to flare from its mouth as it rears its head back, despite Harshnog's bear hug. And then it extends forward and fires off a blast of lightning directly into his face.
Oh,
Holy
god
shit.
damn it!
Nobody's caught in this besides Harshnog.
Yeah,
That's
he has advantage on deck saves.
He does.
That's still gonna suck.
Yeah. He can't make that.
Holy shit.
Harshnog is roasted and looking real bad from that. Actually, you know what? Harshnog's gonna spend his... Despite having a bolt of lightning fired off in his face, Harshnog looks a lot better than you would expect he does.
Oh, he's second winded.
Or does he have legendary resistance? Yep.
Ox, your turn.
More blue sparks.
Alright.
Oh my god, guys. You know what we could. Oh, damn. If that would work, that'd be amazing. Guess who else could go in the flask?
Oh. Which I'm assuming I still have.
Goddamn.
That is almost certainly not going to work. But let's try it. DC 17 Wisdom save.
It's a good thing I can help from over here.
Actually, wait, shit, sorry. Forgot. Has to be native to a plane of existence other than the one we're on. I'm assuming dragons are native to this plane.
Dragons are native.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
It was worth a shot. It was
back to the double
amazing.
dash plan. Yeah, I've got a flask in one of the other campaigns I play in. It's not nearly as useful as you might think.
Yeah.
All we have to do is keep trying once every day until it rolls a 1.
Oh, technically, rules is written. You can use it round after round.
Yeah, there's no usage for dead.
Yeah. No, there's no becoming immune to the powers of an iron flask.
No, it's just if you've been trapped in there before, you get advantage. There's no limitation to how often you can try to trap something in the flask.
Yeah.
Again, rules as written.
I mean, I'd let that stand.
Fair.
You want to spend your action every turn trying to capture something, go right ahead.
I mean, you have to run out of Pokeballs eventually, though.
If that would be true if this were a Pokeball.
I mean, is it not?
Gotta catch 'em all.
Primordials.
Alright. Harshnag, on his turn, is going to move around the dragon. He is going to make... How does he not have proficiency in this skill?
1 second. He's going to make an athletics check against the dragons. Good enough. To lift her over his head and do his best to perform a fucking suplex
Fuck yeah, Harshnag.
on the dragon. Directly behind him. Go! Go! I will hold her as long as I can. He's also going to make a great sword or a great axe attack at her. That, I think, actually misses. Yeah, that misses.
Can I give him my inspiration? Because
You
the
can
Black
indeed.
Dragon is awesome.
You may indeed. That will hit. Harshnag suplexes the dragon. Does 42, a good 42 damage to it, and then hits it with a great axe again, thanks to Ox's inspiration.
Oh, he also
Deal
has an
some-
extra attack because of the haste.
Whoops, that was the wrong thing to do. That is his extra attack due to haste.
Oh, okay.
Rich.
In a dash.
All right. Adriel?
Some Soliloquy are still back there, but what's the speed on the fly? 60?
60.
Yeah, I got Igon with me, so I will just fly the whole.
Oh, Igeron's flying away, flying on his own.
Oh,
He's flown off from you.
you guys got it. Then dash away.
All right. Inks, what's up?
Alright. Well. Inks is gonna cast an ice storm over top of this thing without hitting Harshnag, because she can, because it's 300 feet or distance.
All right.
And so... Come on, slow character sheet. I know you can do it. And that should be another... Another 7 bludgeoning damage. Damn.
All right. So that's 7 plus 12.
Using a bonus thing to get back. Or get around the corner here out of sight. She also suddenly cast that.
All right. Still, what's up?
Alright, assuming that I don't get swept up in a carpet on my.
Nobody has. Who has the carpet?
After we got back from our flight out, I don't know. I had it the last time having it mattered, but
I was gonna say, Soul normally carries it, right?
Yeah, I got no need for it.
you're fine without it?
Dimension door, you.
Alright then.
All right.
You said it's 100 feet?
What is?
Gee, I'm glad I memorized that today. That is turning out to be a very useful thing.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So yeah, let's give them resistance to the lightning. And then for the last 30 feet. Hope that's outside her immediate range.
All right. Did you? Far side of Harshnag is out of her range. You are currently within her range.
Yeah, you might want to go back from Harshnag.
Would that move keep me outside it?
Yes.
Okay. It's not like I can't move further next turn, so
Right.
not making myself opportunity attackable is probably my best choice here.
Quite possibly. All right. Igaron is going to yell back, "Inks, are you good?"
No worries, darling.
All right. He is going to dash the fuck away. The dragon The dragon's just going to multi-attack Harshnag again. And all one of those will hit him. The Harshnag takes another bite attack and another claw. She's going to attempt to escape the grapple. She does
Okay,
not
okay,
escape the
okay.
grapple. Harshnag is really not looking very good, though. Between the lightning blast and the physical attacks, this dragon's fucked him up.
God damn it.
Ox.
Need to go.
More blue sparks, and I'm out the door.
Harshnag, feeling super not good, is going to move around the dragon again while keeping her bear hugged and start attacking the statue of a nom in the middle of the room. He lands a couple of solid great axe hits into it, and the shield and the ceiling begins to shake. Go! Go! Get out! I will find my own way. She will not catch you. He'll throw one more attack at her. Rich.
Gonna cast blind myself.
All right.
That's it.
All right. Adriel.
Keep moving.
All right. Thanks.
I'm just gonna run over here.
All right.
Take a look at Harshnag, like, you're not allowed to die, darling. And then she's casting Dimension Door on herself and peering over here.
Alrighty. You cast Dimension Door. Alright, so what do?
All right, so I don't believe that the dragon ever identified herself to us.
Oh, we know.
Yeah,
She did
but
not.
I'm gonna do my best to catch her by the eye and draw my thumb across my throat as I go. Now, I'm not at this point trying to threaten her. I'm just convincing her I intend to see her dead.
Damn.
I hope as soon as it laughs, Harshnag just punches it in the face. Or axe to the face, more like.
That is a possibility. Is that you with a dash still?
That's me with the carpet.
Okay. I will enjoy it, little one. When I come back and strip the flesh from your bones, I'll enjoy it even more. Alright, Igaron's gonna also get out and keep going. She is going to... I haven't been rolling to see if her breath recharges. Nope. Alright, 2 of those hit Harshnag. Ox.
What is his AC now? Wait.
Yeah, just a normal dash this time.
Alright. Harshnag on his turn. Harshnag on his turn is just going to keep holding on to the dragon as tightly as he can. I may not get out of here, but I will take you with me, dragon bitch.
So like we should be like, just before it happens, should we try to reincarnate you? Like just sign this
Sorry, can I
consent
click
form.
that? I didn't quite hear you. You clicked out.
I was just joking about getting Harshnag to sign a pre-will about reincarnation.
Well,
Rich, You doing anything?
How high up are those boulders that are suspended, and do we know if they're suspended by?
They're suspended by chains. They're 60 feet up, and they are not. Last you guys crossed over them, nothing happened.
Right, I want to make something happen.
Ah. Okay. They are suspended by large metal chains about 40 feet above the ground.
Right, are they like round or square or what?
They're pretty well rectangular. Rectangular prism.
So if I drop them both, then the passage will be cut off, right?
Yes.
And I can't insult the chain to break, can I?
Unfortunately, chains do have the annoying property of not having ears. So no, you may not.
Can I get through it with heat metal?
Heat metal on its own probably wouldn't do it. Let me check the spell description.
Once I catch up to you, we could potentially do heat metal, and then I could hit it.
Yeah, exactly. Heat metal plus like smashing it would probably work. Heat metal on its own.
Established before I can run up there.
Yes.
Right. But I'm thinking though that if like I can just heat it this turn, smack it the next turn, and then you'll probably be up there for heating it on the next one. So yeah, because if I heat metal this turn and then smack it next turn, that'll break it too, right?
Yeah. If you do enough damage to it, yeah.
Okay, well we'll go with that and see how it works.
Okay.
So I'll heat metal this turn, and then the next turn I'll smack it.
All right. Adriel?
How is Soliloquy moving again? Just running,
Carpet.
or she's on the carpet? Okay. She's the only one behind me, so where's Rich?
Rich is well ahead of you guys. He's back.
All right, yeah. Too far ahead for me to see, haha.
Yeah, don't worry about me. If I desperately have to move, I can handle it.
Keep moving.
All right. All right. So, Syl, make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
You not have inspiration left. Shit.
All right.
Yeah, now would be a good time to use that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right, good enough. Barely. So the ceiling is beginning to fall in because Harshnag fucked up the statue badly enough. So the ceiling is beginning to fall. Rocks are beginning to fall and deal damage to those who are still within the central chamber of the temple. So, Syl, you managed to dodge the worst of them, so take half of 27 damage. So that. Take that. Inks, what are you doing?
Thanks. Running up here. Casting one more ice storm over this thing. Before she hits
Alright.
it. Can avoid Harshnug with it. Just kind of yells out over the crumbling stuff. Do part, Harshnag! And then she runs.
That should have another 7 on that check. There we go. Harshnag shouts back at you guys. Do part. Soliloquy. The room is falling apart from you.
Yes, much holler.
Alright.
Now here is a question.
Yes.
I can change to an animal shape as my action. I can change objects as a free action, yes?
You can what as a free action?
Interact with objects.
What object are you interacting with?
The carpet.
You want to take the carpet with you when you transform?
Yep.
Okay, yes, you can do that.
Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and shift into being a hawk. Because if there was ever a good time for a flight form, now is a good time.
Probably, yep. Alright. That is the last of you guys out of the temple, besides Dear Harshnag.
It is highly unfortunate for him, but do I manage to look badass grabbing the carpet and shifting into a hawk?
You already gave us respect, you.
Sure. You managed to look badass while turning into a hawk.
Harshnag is more badass, though. He suplexed a dragon.
Yeah, that is definitely maximum badass, and I cannot hope to approach that.
Igeron runs forward. Wait! Before you drop them, let us all through. Don't want to block us all in there with him. With her.
Do you see which side of this I'm standing on?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and screech, I'm clear.
Alright. The doors swing closed behind you still as you leave. You still hear the roaring of a dragon and the falling of rocks from behind the door, but they are out of sight now. Ox, what do?
Run up to join Rich.
Alright. Rich.
So are there 4 total blocks, or is it just 1 per section?
There is 1 per red square.
Oh, okay. I was under a slight bit of a bad assumption there then.
No, they're all one ginormous block.
All right, I will just fly up there and wait until everybody's past it. Then I will smack it.
All right. Adriel, you dashing forward?
Yes, I am.
All right.
I was gonna see if I can Misty Step the rest of the way, but I can't.
Yeah. You hear more rumbling of boulders behind you, and it finally grinds to a stop. Sounds like the tumbles finally stopped collapsing. Inks, what do?
She's just kind of stealing her features, like gritting her teeth, but eventually shakes her head and turns back. Come on, Syl. And if she can get close enough, she can dimension door one more time. Forward with Syl.
All right.
And dimension door out here.
All right. Agron is going to do something similar. Dash forward. Ox, what are you doing?
Sorry, using up with the blocks.
Probably yes.
Okay, then I will run up to the top of this first block.
All right. Rich, you still just waiting for the rest of them?
Yeah. Or let me just cast heat metal on the other one for now, and then. Oh god, that is a lot of static. I'll just cast heat metal on the other one to get it ready for soon, and then I'll wait up here.
All right. Adriel?
Zoop on through.
All right. Inks, Flint, or Inks, Syl, are you guys doing anything out there?
Aside from glaring furiously at the path that's closed behind us, no, I'm just
Yeah, basically.
leaning on Ing.
All right. Agaron's going to dash through. Ox, Rich, do you want to do the thing?
Break the chains, yep.
All right.
Julie!
Give me some sweet attack rolls. That'll do. Chains have shit AC, and they're weak from heat metal. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure what happens if you're maintaining a spell on someone who dies.
Oh.
all right. So with a rumble and a thunderous kaboom, the first rock falls down.
As it starts
Smash.
falling, run along the wall to the next one.
Yep. And smashes into the ground, blocking the passageway before you guys. Do you guys want to do the next one as well?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what my second roll there was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You guys can smash through that one as well, no problem. You have both rocks blocking the passage into the temple.
All right. So the temple is blocked behind you. You're all outside. Concentration spells are over. Flight spells end in a few minutes. What are you guys doing post escape from the temple?
Time to go murder a professor, I believe.
All right. But, like, immediately, what are you doing?
Probably getting people back onto the carpet.
Yeah, regrouping, carpeting, finding a place to get low so we're not seen by anybody flying past while we do that.
All right. Quick survival checks to find a great place to hide.
Wow.
Yeah, you find a fucking sweet place to hide. It's even got a little bit of a hot spot in it, so it's a bit warm. But it's completely covered. You can't be seen from the air. There's an overhang over the entrance, so you can barely see it on the ground. You guys are good to hide in there for a little while. Post. Yeah. As you guys find your place to sleep for the night, the snow begins to softly fall over the mountains, erasing your tracks and muffling sound, making an almost eerie quiet come over the world. As you hut up and head to sleep, it seems almost peaceful out here. I think this is where we're going to end for tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Asking the important questions, Rich.
Sorry,
Yes.
I actually meant that about last session, because what Sil said.
No, you do level this session.
Ah, well, that works then.
Yeah.
And Harshnag levels in our hearts.
You found the Eye of the Allfather. You got the answers to a lot of questions. You survived an encounter against an ancient blue dragon. Yeah, you've earned level 10.
God fucking damn it, Ilmarith.
Yeah, apparently I've been reading her name wrong this entire time. I'm just gonna change it. It's supposed to be pronounced Imrith, I think.
Oh.
Not Ilmarith or whatever it was. I don't know. It's spelled right in the scratch pad. So yeah, Imrith, Imrith, whatever. It's a Dungeons and Dragons name. So yeah, level 10. I have the Allfathers done. I'm honestly kind of curious as to what you guys' next move after the professor is, but we'll wait and see, I guess. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything, guys?
Not at this time.
That was intense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, we will play again next week. I will see you all then. Oh, nomination. That's a thing. Who had it last time?
I think I was the last one to be actually nominated.
You are the last person listed on the nominations list, but that hasn't been updated since August 7th. So, whoops. My bad.
Yeah, but I think the last nomination handout after that was everyone.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, because I don't think we've actually used our inspirations up until this session.
Who did?
Definitely was not a lot of inspiration yet.
I'd say we should give it to Harshnag, but I think you have to be alive to receive it.
Oh.
Ow.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know any.
Yeah.
I have no particular call out and I'm open to input.
That was
for
a
asking the important
fucking,
questions.
The sad thing is, you fucking like did a lot of shit this session, so I would say you, but like you talked down the primordial, and you said fuck off to the frickin' dragon.
Rich had a pretty good burn against the dragon, though.
That's also
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That was a very solid burn, and since I can't nominate myself,
I still have my inspiration though, so if we wanted to give it to somebody that doesn't have it, I'd be all for that too.
I mean, has anyone else besides me used theirs?
Nope.
I have, but I don't really care.
I mean, you totally went out there and put your beliefs on the line by uncorking the flask yourself.
That's true. And you got burned by it.
Yeah, you put your beliefs on the line and you paid for it. I think that's a pretty solid reason.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Am I hearing this correctly? Is it Ox for nomination?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Congratulations, my dude.
Yep.
So, unless anybody's got anything else, I will see you all next week.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yep.
Thanks
Y'all
for
take it
running.
easy.
Yep. See you next week, guys.
That's it.
Yeah.